Hello, and welcome to Positive Solutions for Families. My name is Ellen Olson, and I will be your host through the next 6 sessions. I work for Cornell Cooperative Extension of Oneida County in the Child Care Council. The Child Care Council helps parents find licensed registered childcare. We help child care providers find the support, training, and resources they need to provide quality care. And we help raise awareness in our communities about the need for affordable, quality childcare. We cover Herkimer, Madison, and Oneida counties. Now, what is Positive Solutions for Families? Positive Solutions for Families was developed by the Center on Social Emotional Foundations for Early Learning. It's an evidence-based, user-friendly parent training series of 6 sessions to help parents promote positive and effective parenting behaviors, which in turn support children's social emotional development and address challenging behavior and mental health needs of children. This training provides information for families on how to promote their children's social emotional skills, understand their problem behavior, and use positive approaches to help children learn appropriate behavior. Sessions are not designed to offer parents specific advice for their children's individual issues. The following training session, number 1, comes with a workbook. For more information on the training session or to obtain a copy of the workbook, please email me at elp32@cornell.edu. Let's get started with session number 1. We're glad you're here. We're going to be working together over the next 6 sessions. During this time, we're going to talk about ideas for helping children feel loved, safe, and special, to feel competent and confident about all the things they can do. Help them build healthy relationships, help them develop friendships, learn how to follow directions, learn how to manage their emotions, let us know what their behavior is trying to communicate, and learn new skills to replace challenging behavior. We have a lot to do in 6 sessions. This is an overview of the next 6 sessions that we're going to cover. The first session today is making a connection. Session 2 is making it happen. Session 3, why do children do what they do? Session 4, teach me what to do. Session 5, facing the challenge part 1. And session 6, facing this challenge part 2. What are your goals for going through this session? What do you hope to get out of these training materials? Feel free to email me or jot down notes, and you can send them to me after the training. It's important to understand that this group is for you. This session is for you. Living with young children can create a mixture of feelings from joy and laughter to exhaustion and frustration. We experience the whole range of behaviors, from hugs and kisses to screaming, hitting, and refusing to stay in bed. This can take a toll on anyone's emotional, mental, and physical well-being. It's not always easy being a parent. Even knowing that most young children display some rather challenging behaviors in the course of their expected development doesn't ease your concerns or anxieties when it's your child engaging in these behaviors. Unfortunately, there are no easy cures, silver bullets, or magic potions. The Positive Solutions for Families series does, however, provide evidence-based strategies. That means strategies that have been shown to work, that have been successfully used by parents of young children. Often, when young children exhibit challenging behavior, we become so frantic for a solution to the behavior, a way to make the behavior stop, that we forget to just have fun with our child. But have no fear. We're going to begin by by talking about how to nurture your relationship with your child. We'll talk about strategies that can help your child learn new ways to interact and behave. So let's get started. Think about the things you do to help your children feel loved, special, and safe. What kinds of things do you do to help your children feel confident and confident? One of the most important things we can do is really work on developing a great relationship with our child. Now let's talk about why this is so important. Think of someone who was really special to you when you were growing up. What made you think of this person? What did they do that made them important or special to you? You can pause this video and complete these questions on session 1, activity 1, relationship activity. When you're done, come back and restart the video. Every child needs one person who is crazy about him. Yuri Bonfenbrenner said that. He was a child development researcher. This is such an important quote for us to remember. It's important for every child to have someone who is crazy about him or her. We want to be the person in our child's life who makes him feel special and loved. The person that he or she can always count on, just like that special person in our life that we just talked about. With this in mind, let's talk a little about the idea of spending quality time with our children. We have all heard that it's important to have quality time with our children, but the reality is getting that quality time may be a little challenging. Let's talk about what those challenges might be, and then we can think about what we can do about them. Let's start with the benefits of spending quality time with your children. Why do you think this is important? How would your child benefit? How would you benefit? Take a minute and list what the benefits might be. Benefits might include things like increased self-esteem, how a positive, secure relationship makes your child and you feel both immediately and long-term, getting to know your child better, how responsive your child is when he or she has a positive relationship with an adult. You might have a more pleasant household. The child will grow up to have good relationships with their own children, and you're helping your child learn to interact with others. Children also love it when we spend time with them and we give them attention. Did you come up with some of these? How were your benefits different? What are some of the barriers to spending quality time with our children? You may feel you don't have enough time. You might have work and other children that you need to spend time with as well. You might be too stressed. These are very stressful times. There might be sibling rivalry, and you don't want one child to be jealous of the time you're spending with the other. You might have an unsupportive partner in the household, and that might make it feel difficult to get everything done. You might not have had a supportive relationship with your parents or caregivers, and so now you feel like it's difficult for you to show that to your children. Your child might have a lot of challenging behaviors, and that makes you feel disconnected. Or you might not know how to play with your child. Sometimes as adults, we forget that. Did you come up with these barriers? What are some different barriers? If you look at these lists, what do you think? Do the benefits outweigh the barriers? Why? It looks like the benefits to our children are things that would help build positive relationships, support their social emotional development, and help them feel loved, competent, and confident. Now that we have seen how the benefits outweigh the barriers, let's talk about how we can build positive relationships with our children. One way to think about your relationship with your child is as a tank that needs to be filled and refilled on a regular basis. We can all relate to filling up our car's gas tank. We always need to refill the tank. It's the same way with our children. Their tanks always need refilling. We can consider times when we are negative, harsh, critical, impatient, or when we nag children, as these are the times that drain our children's gas tanks. Think about the times when someone was harsh or negative to you. How did it make you feel? When we actively build positive relationships with hugs, smiles, encouraging statements, listening, and playing, these are just a few ideas. You can come up with some more. It's as if you're filling or refilling your child's gas tank. When we refill our child's gas tank, we are strengthening our relationships and building their competence and confidence. The more we fill and refill their tanks, the more confidence they will have in developing relationships with others. Now, you can pause this tape, this video, and you can fill out session 1, activity 2, filling, refilling activity. What I'd like you to do is brainstorm ways that you can refill your child's gas tank. When you come back, we'll look at some ideas. It's important to remember that building positive relationships is mainly about positive time and attention and not giving your child things. Let's try to think of no-cost strategies for building positive relationships with your children. Ideas that don't take a lot of time or money. Some things might be reading a book together, taking a walk together, singing your favorite songs, eating dinner together, talking or singing in the car or on the bus, hugs, high fives, kisses, winks, thumbs up, saying I love you, asking your child about his or her day, letting your child be your special helper, helping with dinner, with laundry, with household chores, lawn work, playing together. Now that you've generated ideas for filling, refilling your child's gas tank, look at the things you wrote down on your activity 2. This week, I'd like you to try some of these things at home to fill or refill your child's gas tank. Think of things that will make your child feel really special. Building on the filling, refilling tank idea, I would like to share a powerful tool that you can use to support your child's competence and confidence as well as change his or her behavior. That tool is using positive comments and encouragement. You can do this by catching your child doing the behaviors you would like to see and encouraging him or her to continue those behaviors. It's called Catch Them Being Good. Using encouragement can help increase desired behaviors and decrease unwanted behaviors. That's a good thing. A lack of encouragement can lead to increased amounts of inappropriate behavior and less positive behaviors and interactions. Encouragement takes very little time and is a very effective way to promote positive behaviors. And the good news is encouragement doesn't cost anything. When you encourage your child, it has to be more than just saying, good job, or I like that. Remember to be specific. Tell your child specifically what you like or what he or she did a good job with. Here are some tips for delivering positive and encouraging comments to your child. Get your child's attention. Be specific. Keep it simple. Avoid combining encouragement with criticism. Encourage with enthusiasm. Double the impact with physical warmth. and encourage your child in front of others. To illustrate these powerful parenting tips, let's look at some situations when parents can use positive comments and encouragement to see what we think. Now, I will read an example, a scene, and then you can pause the video and think about ways the parent in these scenarios used the tips or didn't use the tips, and what could they do better. Let's try example number 1. Mom is doing the dishes, and her daughter is playing quietly. Mom does not look at her daughter and says, "I like how you're playing quietly." Daughter doesn't look up or seem to hear Mom. How does the mother encourage her daughter? Is this a behavior that you would encourage? Does her daughter notice? Why? Why do you think? What would make this encouragement more effective? Let's look back to the list of tips and discuss tip 1. Get your child's attention. It's important to encourage children when we have their attention. Otherwise, they might not hear our encouraging statement, and the result can be ineffective. This does not mean the child needs to stop what he or she is doing and give you their full attention, but simply that we know they can hear us. Eye contact is a good indicator of attention. Let's try another one. Example number 2. Grandma is watching TV, and her grandson and granddaughter are playing nicely together. Grandma stops watching TV and looks at the children and says, "Good job." The children look at each other confused and continue to play. How does this grandmother encourage her grandchildren? What behavior is she encouraging? How do we know? Do you think the children know what behavior she is encouraging? What could she do differently to be more effective? Let's look at tip 2. Be specific. Sometimes we give vague encouragement such as "Good boy," "Good job," "Nice work." This is not very effective at increasing a specific behavior that we would like to see more of because the child is unsure of what we're encouraging. Behavior-specific or labeled encouragement is more effective because it communicates to the child the behavior you like. So instead of saying "good boy" or "good girl," try saying, "Wow, what a fantastic job you did cleaning up your toys. Thank you for listening to Mommy and following directions." Or, as in the example with the grandma above, "Wow, you two are having so much fun playing together." Let's try another one. Example number 3. Dad and son are doing dishes together. Dad looks at his son and says, "Thanks for doing such a good job with the dishes and not rushing through like you usually do." At first, his son smiles, but then he looks down. How does this father encourage his son? What behavior is he encouraging? How is his statement encouraging? How do you think the son feels? What could he do differently to be more effective? Let's look at tip 3. Keep it simple. Avoid combining praise with criticism and see how it applies. Sometimes we're tempted to provide constructive criticism with our praise. For example, "Thank you for listening to me the first time and not after the 10th time like you usually do." Or, "You did a great job cleaning up all of your blocks today, unlike yesterday when Mommy had to clean them up for you." These type of statements are ineffective because the child may only pay attention to or remember the criticism and not the positive comments. Keep positive statements clean and simple and avoid combining them with other stuff. Example number 4. Mom and son are playing together with blocks. Mother says, "You are so good at building fences for the cows and horses." Son smiles and hands mother a horse. "Wow, thank you for sharing your horse with me. I like playing with you." Her son smiles and makes an animal noise in a quiet voice. "Thank you for using a quiet voice while your sister takes a nap." And mom gives him a big hug. How does this mother encourage her son? How do you think the son feels? What behavior is she encouraging? What would you do to be more effective, if anything? Let's look at tip number 4. Encourage with enthusiasm. Encouragement that is delivered with enthusiasm is more meaningful and unforgettable. Our enthusiastic responses communicate to our children that we are very happy with their behavior. Flat encouragement is not as effective. This example also demonstrates another tip. Tip 5, powerful parenting practice. Double the impact with physical warmth. When we accompany encouragement with physical warmth, such as a hug, it is as if we are providing 2 encouragement statements, doubling the impact. Let's try one more. Mom gets home from work and Dad and daughter are setting the table for dinner. Dad says to Mom, "Allie is such a good helper. She set that half of the table all by herself and was playing nicely with Madison so I could finish cooking dinner." Allie smiles a big smile. Mom gives Allie a hug and says, "I'm so proud of you. I bet you are proud of yourself for setting the table and helping Dad." How does this father do with encouragement? What behavior is he encouraging? Are these behaviors you would encourage? How does he involve the mother? How do you think the child feels? Did you notice that Mom gave Allie a hug? That's tip 5 again, remember? Double the impact with physical warmth. Let's look at tip 6, using positive comments with your child in front of others. When children hear you praise them in front of other important adults in their lives, it leaves a big impression. This strategy can also allow you and your partner to work together at acknowledging and reinforcing your child's good behavior. Now I'd like you to look at the 3rd activity in your workbook. This is your encouragement log activity. This is the second thing that I'd like you to try at home. The first one is to fit ways that you can fill and refill your child's relationship tank. You should try to find at least 5 times in the next week when you can give your child positive comments and encouragement. Watch to see how you think it makes your child feel when you give positive comments and encouragement, and make note of how it makes you feel too. Remember that positive comments and encouragement can be done anywhere, at the grocery store, in the car, or during bath time. Here are some examples to give you some ideas. "Thank you for..." "What a good problem solver you are. You were so able to..." "It's fun to play with you. You are so good at..." You could insert sharing, taking turns, things like that. "You were being so kind when you..." "Thank you for using your inside voice when your sister was sleeping." Now, here are the things that you're going to try at home before our next session. Try to refill and fill your child's relationship tank. These are the items that you wrote down in your workbook activity number 2. The next thing to try is use positive comments and encouragement with your child. That's workbook activity number 3. But the most important thing is have fun together. I hope this has been a good beginning for you. And I hope that as we work through positive solutions for family sessions, you will continue to gain useful information, ideas, and practical tools. Remember that you'll need your workbook and the completed activities for your next session. I'll see you next time at session number 2. Thank you.